What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another TCK Films live stream. We're back. It's a special one. I know you're all looking forward to this. First of all, hope you're all having a great Saturday, great week. Thank you for joining me. If you're here on the replay, thank you for rewatching with me. And yeah, it's a big one. Cobra Kai Season 6, the final season, Part 1, just dropped this Thursday. And let's talk about it, man. This was quite the season, man. This was quite the part. It's not even the full season. It's not even – we still have 10 more episodes to go, but boy, are we eating good already with this first part. I cannot wait to talk about it with a bunch of you guys in the chat. Talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, what we're excited for, what we're looking forward to in this next part. We're going to go through each episode, talk it down. It's going to be a long one tonight. It's going to be a good one. I hope you all can stay for as long as you can. I'm going to be talking to you guys in the chat, hearing your thoughts. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. Cobra Kai is officially back and better than ever. All right, we already got some people in the chat. What's up, Mystic Skywalker? How are you doing? How are you doing, Alejandro? Cobra Kai World, how you doing, man? Tristan, my man, how you doing? Jim Tim, what's up? King Danny, how you doing, man? Thanks for coming on. Frank, how you doing? All right, let's talk some Cobra Kai. If you guys want to see like my quick, short thoughts, if you haven't already, make sure to watch my Cobra Kai review. It dropped yesterday. Just a quick 7-minute thoughts, overall thoughts. But tonight we're diving in to the specifics, the details, and yeah. So real quick, I'll go over my overall thoughts, pretty much what I covered in the video. If you didn't see that, but you still should go check that out. I'm a big fan of this part so far, and I think the writers, they said each part seems like its own mini season, and yeah, this part definitely seems like its own mini season. It jumps right back into it. It's got everything you love about Cobra Kai right into the mix. The fights, the humor, the characters. But what I like the most about this season so far is definitely the kids. Like I said, part of season 5 I didn't like, especially the end, was that it wasn't focused on the young cast. It was mostly on adults. That made sense for the story they're trying to tell. But this season, we're diving deeper and deeper into the kids. They all have their own personal, specific reasons for why they want to win the Seikai Taikai, and I really like that. It's not just we have to win because we're the good guys and Cobra Kai's the bad guys. No, they have their own personal reasons. Miguel's, he thinks winning this will help him, get into the college he wants to. Robbie doesn't want to be the runner-up anymore. He really wants to prove that he can finally win. Tori, she just, first of all, she needs the money, but also she wants a real win because she was cheated on the Seikai Taikai, or in the All Valley, she, Silver paid the ref. Dimitri, Hawk, they all have their own reasons, and I love that. I love that so far this season. Seems like a lot of you guys are mixed. I had a fun time with this. Obviously, it's going to have its problems. There's some stuff I didn't love. Some filler stuff I wasn't a huge fan of. And the Johnny and Daniel stuff, I don't know. It's getting a little old with this arguing, and obviously they'll never be on the same page. But I don't know. It's getting a little old with this arguing, and they're both saying they're on each other's side. They're both from Miyagi-Do, but then Johnny goes against it the next episode. I think Johnny's been a little bit in more of the wrong this season, more than Daniel, which is usually not the case. Daniel's usually the one who's being more aggravating, but honestly, this season so far it's a little bit of more Johnny. But we had some great Johnny comedy moments with that. What else? I love the Miyagi secrets. It's keeping Miyagi alive in this show, in this series, because we all know Miyagi never liked fighting in tournaments. In the movies, he never liked fighting unless it was necessary. And what we fight, also spoiler alert, so don't be on here because we're talking about heavy spoilers. Spoiler alert, we found out that Mr. Miyagi maybe has fought in the Seikai Taikai and maybe killed someone because there's blood on that headband. That's just what we think so far. He might have not even have fought. It could be somebody else's headband. But I love that. That dives right back into the movies and makes that whole storyline with Miyagi make sense of why he doesn't like fighting in tournaments, why he doesn't like fighting that. That makes sense. And by far, the best character of the season so far, and this is saying something coming from me, is Tori. Because I haven't been the first, or seasons 2 through 4, wasn't really a Tori fan at all. I thought she was as King would say, if you're still here, Saturday morning cartoon character. But with this season and last season, they're really getting more into Tori and not just like the psycho side of her, like the why, she is the way she is, what's going on in her head, what's going on in her home life. And we're diving even deeper with her this season. And it's been great. Peyton List delivers one of the best performances, if not the best performance in the entire show. Tori has been the most interesting for the past 2 seasons out of all the kids. And that performance this year in episode 5, insane. That whole scene, that last 10 minutes, last 15 minutes of that episode, one of the most intense things we've ever seen in this show. I mean, you saw the dominoes effect of everyone reacting to what happened to Tori's mom and seeing Tori act like that. I mean, that was like a tough watch, but it was great. And then you see Johnny and Daniel, how they react to it, especially Johnny. And then it leads right into the Seikai Taikai, which I think is a time jump. I don't think the season's going to pick up right there. I think there's stuff in the middle. But yeah, that ending scene, what a twist. What a twist, man. I mean, I did not see that coming at all. I think it's one of the best twists in the show. And it's not like anything humongous, like Terry Silver's back. It's just Tori's going back to Kreese, which is like heartbreaking, But honestly, I don't even blame Tori at all. She needs to do what's best for her. She's not going back to Cobra Kai because like, I need to get back at Sam. I need to get back at Daniel. No, she's doing this for her. She wants to win. She needs this win. She needs to be like the captain. She needs to be on the team. She needs to be broadcasted. She needs this win. She's doing what's best for her. I don't think she's being brainwashed by Kreese. I think she's doing her own thing. And I respect her for it. I think it makes sense for her. I didn't see it as a whole shocking betrayal. She needs to do what's best for her. And, Cobra Kai is definitely not what's best for her, but, winning is. And if that means being on Cobra Kai, then so be it. But yeah, I'm really digging this season so far. I've really enjoyed it. I've seen it 2 or 3 times already. I love Cobra Kai. I don't think they could ever do anything to make me hate this show. But we're gonna go through each episode, dive into more specifics. But first, let's check on the chat. Yeah, I see some mixed feelings. Episode 5 was 100%. Episode 5 was the best. That whole episode was fantastic. Probably one of the best in the show. I agree. It's getting a little bit aggravating. We've done this already. You guys keep coming together and then splitting up. What's up, Melissa? Part 1 is great. There were some things that I was a bit disappointed with, but all in all, I agree. Yeah, stuff with the kids is great. My favorite fights were the frat party Mike Barnes. Yeah, those were all great fights. And the Tori Sam fight. Even though it wasn't finished, I still liked where that was going. So, yo, what's up, Trophy Productions? Long time no see. Yeah. Killer edits right here, Trophy Productions. Love this guy's edits. These first 5 episodes were insane. Can't wait for part 2. Yeah, definitely, bro. Thanks for coming on, man. I see this theory going around, and do you think Kreese caused Tori's mom to die? I don't think so. I think that's a little bit too far. I get why people could think that because she died and she had the fist and they were focusing on her fist, but I don't know. I think that's that's too far. I still think Kreese will be redeemed. And if he does that, there's no way he's redeemable at all. He's evil. He's more evil than Silver if he does that. There's no going back from that. I don't think Kreese would go that far, especially when it comes to Tori. I do not think so. I've seen that go around, and I'm not a big fan of that theory. I agree. We never totally got Sam's reason for wanting to win the Seikai Taikai. Yeah, I agree. Sam's one of the characters who's been a little bit sidelined this season, which isn't awful, to be honest. I think more characters are more interesting who are getting it. She doesn't really have it. She said she wants closure, like you said. So it's not big. It's not as big of a reason as all the other characters, but I don't think it's terrible. Definitely. And like I said, Peyton List, she played off that terrifically, excellently. Yeah, the Johnny versus Mike Barnes fight was great. What did you think about Tori and Sam apologizing by talking instead of fighting it out? I like it. I mean, they can't. They're not like Robbie Miguel where they have to fight it out because Sam and Tori have fought so much more, and it's way more bad blood than Robbie and Miguel. They needed that talk. Sam needed to apologize. Tori just needed to apologize. They needed to let it all out with their words instead of letting it all out with their fists, because that's what they've done the past 5 seasons. And I really like that scene. It was great performances by both Mary and Peyton. Episodes 4 and 5 were terrific. How about the Robbie Miguel exchange outside the apartment where Robbie is dealing with his second place demons? Miguel saying he needs to win. Yeah, another great scene. I just love every scene we're getting with Robbie Miguel this season thus far. That was also a great scene because, even though Robbie's not going to college, doesn't mean he doesn't not have a future, which is what he told Miguel. I thought that was great. And Miguel's not fighting him about it. He's like, yeah, you're right. But I need this win. So it's really interesting and another great build-up for the tournament. Fancast. The outcome of Miguel and Robbie fight was surprising me. Yeah, me too, especially because it started out so one-sided. Yeah, but we're going to get into all this tonight. I want to go through each episode, starting with episode 1, going through 5, go through the specifics, details, what I thought while I was watching this. So let's get started. Keep going in the chats. I'll be checking it out while we're doing this. And yeah, thank you guys all for coming on. Let me just get my screen shared to Netflix. All right, obviously I'm not going to play it because then I'll get copyrighted. Let's see. Let's do this. But yeah, first of all, I love this opening scene. I love the music. Great song by REO Speedwagon. Just seeing everyone, it's peace. It's finally like the episode title, "Peacetime in the Valley." It was really great seeing this, and this scene right here, obviously a callback to season 1 when Daniel drove past Cobra Kai and was shocked in season 1 that it was back, and now he's smiling because it's gone for good. A great callback. Love that. Just a great opening scene. I think one of the best opening scenes of the show. Eagle Fangs torn down. Kind of saw that coming. What was this? This is Penis Breath. Why would they let this kid back? Oh my god. I mean, that's a fire shirt he has on. Where is it? Show it. There you go. That's a fire shirt he made for them all. But Penis Breath, bro, we didn't need you back. He doesn't contribute much to the team. He full on betrayed them. I don't think we needed you back, bro. But you're lucky Miyagi-Do is so welcoming. Johnny, Chosen, Daniel still arguing again. This was a funny scene. Sensei. That was really funny. Oh god, this logo. Oh my goodness gracious. They finally this is like fan fiction in the show. Everyone was saying it's gonna be called Miyagi Fang. And then they put it in the show this is what it looks like. This is how ridiculous it looks. I mean, look at this. It's like Daniel said, it's Miyagi Vampire. That's so wrong. This should never ever see the light of day again. I don't know what Hawk and Dimitri were thinking, especially because they are Miyagi-Dos. Here we got the Tori, Sam, Miguel, Robbie double date, which was super awkward. They all played that very well because it was just as awkward as they were acting. It was a fun scene though. I love seeing just Miguel and Robbie hanging out together. Sam and Tori not beating each other up, even though this is really awkward. But yeah, this was really funny too, this whole encounter where Sam said, whose idea was this anyway? And then Robbie's like, this was Miguel's idea when he's talking to Tori. Kenny's back. Another scene of Johnny in the pawn shop. Love the pawn shop guy. Getting an axe to train for his fight against Chosen. And then Johnny gets texts saying, meet at Coyote Creek. Who's this? Cobra Kai never dies. I mean, did anyone really think this was Kreese? I didn't think for a second this is going to be Kreese. Maybe because, the trailers kind of give that away that he's in South Korea. But I knew for a second this wasn't Kreese. I didn't know who it was. And when we find out who it was, I didn't expect that. I thought it was Chosen messing with him. To fight because they were going to fight. But I love the Coyote Creek callback. Here we go. Here's that Karate Kid 1 reference. Oh, hang on. Karate Kid 1 reference when Daniel jumps in front of Allie and her friends, and Kenny does a great callback. Got that right away. That was a really fun callback. Robbie's trying to get Kenny to join back, but look who shows up. My boy Sean. Sean. From season 3, Robbie met him in juvie. It was great to see him back in the show. I know a lot of people are thinking that he joins Cobra Kai, but he pretty much called it stupid as shit later this episode. So I don't think Sean's joining Cobra Kai anytime soon. But it was great seeing Sean back. It was absolutely great seeing Sean back. And he's a great scene with Kenny later. Chose Karate Kid 2 reference. Karate Kid 2 reference of Chosen chopping this huge log, which was a great callback. This was a great opening episode. It wasn't anything crazy, but it was kind of like downtime, but also like we're so happy to see all these characters come back. And then Johnny goes to Coyote Creek. We hear Kreese's, voice, which was a little weird. That caught me like, what is happening? And then you see it's Stingray, and he has a little boom box of Kreese's audio. I don't know how he got Kreese's voice on an audio, but Stingray got it. This was a whole funny scene. Stingray has his own Cobra Kai where he's teaching little kids. Really funny. I hope we see more Stingray, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is the last we see of Stingray. Wasn't expecting him in the first episode, though. Then we got this whole batting cage fight with Robbie and Miguel versus Sean and Kenny, and then Miguel comes in and saves Robbie with this sweep of the leg, which was sick. I cheered. That was like a cheer moment when he came in. I mean, we knew he was coming in, Miguel, because of the shot in the trailer, but that sweep of the leg was so sick. That was yes, even though I knew it was coming. So this was a fun little fight. It wasn't anything big. Then we have Tori and Sam finally, kind of teaming up again against Kenny, and they go easy on him. They don't really hurt him. They just defend themselves. And then Sean tells them to go. Now, at first, I thought this scene with Stingray was kind of stupid. But then I rewatched it, and it was kind of sweet. Stingray was no, I was a nobody before you met me. Nobody took me seriously. And then I joined your dojo, and I started to respect myself. That was a pretty awesome scene, a pretty sweet scene, and it shows what Johnny brings to the table as a sensei. It doesn't matter which dojo he's on, he still makes people stronger, makes them feel better about themselves. So I really like this scene with Stingray. I didn't get it the first time really, but then on the rewatch, it was actually a really sweet scene between the two. And speaking of sweet scenes, this scene with Kenny and Sean, great. We don't really get a whole bunch of family, brother dynamics in this show. And this was a really sweet scene, and you wouldn't really expect it from Sean, knowing what we knew about him in season 3 and how tough he was. But he's being a good brother here and telling, Kenny, we'll figure it out. I got your back. This was just a really awesome, sweet scene that I wasn't expecting. And then next, Sam's me and Tori, found common ground. This is great, really mature Johnny scene where he's we can be Miyagi-Do. We should respect your sensei. We should win under your sensei's name. That was really mature Johnny. Didn't see it coming. Wish it lasted a little longer because, as we know, they start bickering again about dojos, which, like I said, gets a little bit annoying. And then this was really cool. Here's Tori and Sam training. That's a cool shot. Johnny and Chosen just fight for fun. I wonder who won this fight. They never show who won the fight. They didn't complete this fight. I mean, they got to think Chosen won the fight because it's Chosen. Chosen is a better fighter than Johnny. But Johnny took on 5 of those guys last season. Let me know in the chat who you guys think won this. I'm going to go with John. I'm going to go with Chosen still. But they never talk about it again. Yet, at least. I don't think they will. It's kind of like that Rocky 3 ending. And I like how they start fighting Daniel. That was really cool. Kenny joins Miyagi-Do officially. We all knew that was coming. Glad it happened earlier on. Here they start fighting Daniel, which is really sweet. And then here we go. We see Johnny for the first time in Miyagi-Do gi. Awesome to see. We've wanted to see this for a while now. They're all on Miyagi-Do's side because as great as Eagle Fang is, Miyagi-Do's the GOAT dojo. And there's no debate about that. And then this episode ends with Kreese, of course, with this cigar in Korea, telling the South Korean students that Cobra Kai is back. Great way to end an episode. Great episode. Great opening episode. I don't really have any problems with this episode. Besides, maybe I wish that fight in the batting cage was a little longer. I would have loved to see more Miguel and Robbie versus Sean, because Sean's a big dude, man. Like, you need two guys to take him down. But yeah, I thought it was a great opening episode. Great opening scene. Great character moments. What do you guys think? The fight, yeah, I agree. The fight was good, but it could have been a little bit longer. Yeah, I was expecting it to be a little bit bigger of a fight. Even though it didn't need to be. I think they executed it pretty well, but I would have, just for the fun of it, I would have liked to see more of it, to just, because it's cool to see. I like how Stingray says how Cobra Kai affected him in a positive way, but besides that, still a weird scene, because I thought it was leading to something. Yeah, I mean, the whole text thing and the whole Kreese's voice while Johnny's walking up, they made it seem like it was going to be something bigger. I agree. The build-up didn't need to be like that. But I thought the actual scene, the interaction with Stingray and Johnny and what he told him was very, very sweet. And another, better understanding of Stingray. That's not just like a comedy scene. It's like a real scene. And like him telling like Sensei Lawrence, like, you kind of changed my life. You made me feel better about myself. I thought that was really great, because that is, at the end of the day, what Johnny does best. Like, he might, yell at these kids. He might call them names, but like, he makes them stronger. And there's no doubt about that. Yeah, I think the fight was a little bit longer. I didn't love the batting cage scene at first, but I like it more after seeing the Kenny and Sean scene, because Sean saw Miyagi-Do wasn't trying to hurt Kenny. Yeah, exactly. Sean, realized during that fight that they were holding back on Kenny. They could have hurt him if they really wanted to, but they didn't. And I'm glad that Sean realized that. I'm glad this whole Kenny beef with Robbie isn't dragged on too long. It got settled in the first episode like it should have. Same with the Kenny Anthony beef. They gave each other a little nod at the end of that episode. But yeah, I think that was probably the best scene of this episode, was that Kenny and Sean interaction. That was really sweet, and like I said, very unexpected. But I also love that opening scene with the Ario Speedwagon. That was great. What else? That last scene with Johnny Chosen's bar. That was also really cool. Just a fun episode, like a peacetime episode, which is, I think, what we need after that extremely crazy finale in season 5, where it was the complete opposite of peace. The good thing about the fight, though, was to Sam and Tori became friends. Yeah, that was like the first sign you see, like, maybe we can be friends together. And that was really cool. I agree. Kenny for sure got the worst of it. This part, yeah. We'll get deep. We'll talk about that when that happens. I'm a little bit disappointed of what they've done with Kenny so far this season. It seemed like last season he was such a big part, and he really stepped up as a fighter. And now it seems like he's taking a little bit of a step back, which isn't his fault. It's just like what the writing is in, and what they just are doing with Kenny, and mostly not doing with Kenny. But I'll get into that more. Let's go on to this next episode, episode 2. Probably, in my opinion, the worst of the 5. Has some good moments in it, but what's really bad about it actually is the pacing. Like, this is the episode where Kim Sun-young, who is Kreese's sensei, is somehow alive. We'll get to that. He sends Kreese on a mission, like a really complicated mission, to get this sword or get this knife and fight a snake. And Kreese hallucinates, and he sees all this stuff, and he fights Johnny in a hallucination. And then it cuts to this college frat party. Like, the pacing of that was just really weird. It's like it's really an intense moment, and like you don't know what's happening with Kreese, what's going on in his head. And then it cuts to a bunch of kids drinking at a frat party. And I do like both of those storylines this episode, but they didn't go together well at all. It really took you out of the Kreese stuff, which was supposed to be really dark and intense. Because then it cuts to this fun college frat party. And I did like that. I thought that was a great, really fun moment, which I'll get into more. But it didn't. These two storylines didn't work together well. It should have been one. Like, it should have been just the Kreese stuff and then do the college stuff, because it's kind of just it doesn't work together well. But yeah, here's another. This episode opens up with another flashback. I love the Kreese flashbacks, and Silver is the only Silver we got this season so far. We see Kim Sung Young for the first time. We didn't see his face last season, and I love this whole interaction with Kreese. We understand why Kim Sung Young likes Kreese so much, because he pretty much stood up for her and kind of saved her, and saved her from being abused by her father, but I or grandfather. But I love all these flashbacks. I love diving deeper into Kreese's past and understanding why he is the way he is. And I love that opening scene. I think it was great. It was probably one of the most darker scenes of the show, seeing this, like, him abuse his granddaughter. That was pretty dark, but it was a great opening scene. I love the flashbacks with Kreese and Silver, and I think we'll still get more of this season. And then cut to the present day where Kreese is back. Kim is very happy to see him. The first thing she said in season 5 when she got off that plane was, "Where's Sensei Kreese?" So we always knew they had a liking towards each other. So I really like that opening scene. And then we see Miguel writing his college essay, which was pretty good of what we heard so far. But their house is falling apart, like we see, and they all move into Johnny's house, and that's a lot of people. Here we see Kreese and Sensei Kim Dong-noon talking. And then this is the craziest thing ever. Oh my god, how is this dude still alive? Like, this is crazy. This seemed like a different show, this whole episode, this storyline. It didn't seem like Cobra Kai at all, which I like. How is this guy still alive? He's got to be like over 110 years old, right? How is this guy still alive? A little bit unrealistic. Actually, not even a little bit. It's very unrealistic, but it's the last season, so who cares? And I like what he brings to the show, even if it's a bit unrealistic. But this whole storyline, this episode, and I'm not saying this as a bad thing, it seemed like a completely different show. It's like a completely different martial arts show. It was like kind of weird, but in a good way. I don't know how this guy's still alive. Like, that was really weird. Then we see this college fair, which is fine. We find, Dimitri and Eli want to go to MIT, or at least Dimitri does, but Eli doesn't know that, or Dimitri doesn't know that Eli doesn't want to go yet. Johnny and Chosen go house hunting, which was fine. This was really cool. This is something we haven't seen in the show yet, which is like Kreese acting like a student. We've always seen Kreese in charge, and everyone listens to him. But it was cool to see, for the first time, Kreese listen to someone else, his sensei, and his sensei like put him in his place. Like, you want to enter the Sekai, you need to do this, and that's something we've never even seen from Kreese, and I really liked seeing that. And then here's Miguel, Hawk, and Dimitri visiting his college, and look who's there: Kyler and Brooks. Now, we knew this was going to happen this season because of the trailers. Crazy that Brooks looks normal after what Hawk did to him in season 3, punching his face in. Even crazier that he's just okay with Hawk now and not even scared of him. He's like, "We're good, man. I got all new teeth. We're fine." What? This man almost killed you and then didn't even care. I don't think he's ever even. This is the first time he's even apologized for it, which is like a few months later. I don't know why he was so okay with it. I guess because he's just stupid, but. At first, I was worried with the storyline with Kyler this episode. Like, I don't want a Kyler redemption. He's done so much bad. But they really pulled it off at the end, and I really like what they did. It felt really earned, and we'll get into that, like how he's being bullied. Kyler's being bullied this season, by the frat guys, which is, deserving. He deserves to get bullied after what he put everyone through in high school. But also, we get some great Miguel and Kyler scenes, which is nothing I was expecting at all. But it was kind of weird seeing... Kyler be buddy with them all like this. I mean, you can see that they don't really want to, but they don't really have a problem with Kyler, I guess, because they all kicked his ass. They're like, we put you in your place. They kind of got their revenge, but this was pretty funny, and I really like this whole frat party scene. As for this storyline with Johnny and Daniel going house hunting, it was whatever. They had some funny moments in it. And I guess it was necessary for, like, you know, Johnny becoming a family man. It's just not the most entertaining storyline to see. And, like, I think it could have been a little bit better if they were going to do this. It was just, like, kind of like, you know, your basic Johnny comedy, which wasn't great. But, you know, it was great seeing Kreese set out on this journey to find or to get this knife. This was really, really cool. And it really felt like a whole new show. And it felt completely different from anything we've seen in Cobra Kai, which is really good because in my opinion, like, it brought a new flavor to the show. It brought something new to it, and I'm a big Kreese fan. I'm a big John Kreese fan, and I love everything with John Kreese, and I really like this, and especially where it goes, which I wasn't expecting at all. But this is what I mean. Like, we get this really intense scene where the snake bites Kreese, and he starts hallucinating, and then what do we cut to? Like this frat party with the kids. Like, it doesn't flow well. It doesn't flow well at all. Both storylines, like I said, really good, entertaining, but they don't work together when you're switching back and forth. It's like complete ends of the spectrum. You got Kreese, like, dying in Korea, getting killed, getting bitten by a snake, and then these kids at a frat party. The pacing is just really off this episode. But yeah, this was fun frat party. We see Kyler's, you know, he's getting bullied by the frat guy. He's pretty much his bitch, as Kyler would say. And Miguel, he's like going to Kyler, like, you really gonna let them talk to you like that? Which is like, Miguel is such a good guy that it's not even that weird coming from Miguel. It's just from us, like, why are you helping him, Miguel? Like, why are you concerned for him? He put you through so much shit in high school, and now you're being like, you know, you're sticking up for him. That just shows what a good guy Miguel is. It's very on character with him. This was funny. The Cubs on Hawk's head on his hair. Like, this was really, really funny. That was a really funny scene. And the whole thing with Brock's going to MIT, that was really funny. But the different MIT. That was a good moment between Johnny and Chosen, and the nice callback where the karate's here but never here. Good Karate Kid callback. This was a good scene between Chosen and Johnny. And then this scene was a little weird with this guy who just noticed him. Like, what's with that haircut? It would have been cool. Here's for my How I Met Your Mother fans. If this guy was Neil Patrick Harris, and he's just playing whoever, because Neil Patrick Harris, who played Barney in How I Met Your Mother, was a huge William Zabka fan, a huge Johnny fan. And this was way before Cobra Kai. And it would have been funny if he was this guy, because this guy's like a big fan of him, and he was at the tournament in '83. A little random, but it was nice of this guy to help him out. Yeah, that was cool. Then we get more Kreese stuff. He's seeing Silver, but really cool. He sees Johnny, his weakness. He's saying, "You're my weakness," and it's really Kreese was saying stuff like, "I never show mercy except for you. I never feel anything except for you." Like, just hearing him say that, because we always see it, but he never, like, admits it. That was, like, really, really, like, cool to see and finally hear. And then we have this little mini fight with Kreese and Johnny, and it ends with, like, fake Johnny. And I've seen Johnny in this gi, even though he looks a little ridiculous. It was it's a hallucination, so it doesn't matter if it's ridiculous or not. And this ultimately ends with Kreese killing his weakness. I do not think this means at all that Kreese is done with Johnny. He might think that. He might have, like, think it for a little bit, but no way he's done with Johnny. Like, he loves him too much, and it's clear, even though he killed him there. And then look at this. We had that dark scene. And then we cut to frat party. Like, that just bothered me. That really bothered me. But yeah, this frat party stuff, more fun stuff. Miguel sticking up for Kyler. This was gross. This is what they made Kyler do. And then Miguel finally sticks up for Kyler, which was really cool to see. And we probably have the best line of the season that was in the trailer show up here. It's, "Bitch, don't you know I know karate?" And then this was an awesome, cool fight. I love the music. I love the way it was cut. There's some great camera work here. I love the Miguel, Hawk, Dimitri just fights together, the three of them. And then you had Kyler in, who's on their side for once. It was really cool. The camera work, like I said, this episode for this fight, really cool. Like, look at this. Boom, you got zooms in. Like, they've never done anything like this in the show so far. Like, they're using new cameras this season. The season seems more like cinematic in a way, not quite, but like, you know what I mean? Like, they're different. They're using new styles of techniques with the camera, which is really cool. And like, I noticed it in this fight, and I really enjoyed that. Just seeing them all team up was great. And then you got Brooks brocking someone. You got Brooks. That was funny. This was really funny. A really fun fight. Like, Cobra Kai has really fun fights. Like, this was very filler, but very fun. Just because something's filler doesn't mean it's always bad. There can be like bad filler, but this was not bad filler. This was fun. This was definitely, this is what you want to go and rewatch. You know, like them all taking down these kids at a frat party. It was super fun. And then here's nice Daniel and Johnny scene where Daniel's like, you just got to get a job, man. Like, it takes some time to get there. And you know what I also liked about the frat party is, like, I'm going to college this year. I'm going in a few months, actually, like a month, actually. And it was just really cool to see them all looking at colleges and, you know, seeing what college is like, even though it's a little bit, you know, not all colleges are like that, but there are some with crazy frats like that. So it's just very, like, cool for me, like, because, like, I'm going to be, I went through that whole college thing of picking out where I'm going, and that was just really cool seeing that in this show with all the kids. Like, we're like the same age, growing up together. Sounds a little cheesy, but I don't know, it's cool. And then we see Kreese kill the snake, which was very dark, very cool, Kreese. And then we find out that he goes to a different MIT for fixing washing machines or whatever. Not the MIT they thought he was going to. That was a very funny reveal. And then here is an absolutely great scene with Miguel and Kyler. One that I wasn't expecting at all. And even if they were having a conversation, I wasn't expecting it to go like this. This was really, really cool. Like, Kyler's gave Miguel some great advice. Like, the safety's always there, but you got to go for that dream. You'll always have the safety, but follow the dream. And like, that was really good advice, even though Kyler was like, I should have gone. I wanted to go to the real big party schools, and I had to go to a safety party school. Like, that was funny. But, you know, like, even the advice he gave, the words he said was really good. And Miguel, you know, he took that to heart. And it was crazy seeing that from Kyler. Like, you would never expect Kyler to give anyone good advice, let alone give Miguel good advice. I was really worried about them redeeming Kyler this season, but I really, really liked what they did. I think they executed this very well. And then it works out for Kyler, where this nicer frat hopefully lets him join. And Kyler's still calling him Maria, which is fun. Like, he's like, that's Kyler. So this was just a really fun episode, really fun storyline with the frat stuff and the Kyler redemption. Really, I think they executed it perfectly. And then we have Johnny joining LaRusso Auto, even though Daniel never offered him a gig. He still joined there, which makes sense. Johnny knows a lot about cars. He sells a car immediately, right away, which is a little bit unrealistic. It took him like 10 seconds, and we didn't even hear the price he gave. But, you know, it was fun. It was funny. And I like him working at LaRusso Auto. Here's this old motherfucker again. How is this guy still alive? So crazy. But Kreese brought back the knife. He got his sensei's respect. They can enter the Seikai Taikai and episode 2. Yeah, another solid episode of the show. I don't think this episode is, I think, the worst of the 5. Just because of the pacing, though. I think what they did in the episode was very fun, very different. But they didn't work together at all. Like, the 3 storylines, like the Miguel frat party and the Johnny chosen house hunting, those 2 go together because it's like fun stuff. But this dark Kreese stuff should have like been its own. I don't want to say its own full episode, but at least its own part of the episode. Because going from this to the frat party, which it did multiple times, like I said, it didn't work. But not a bad episode at all. Let's see. What are you guys saying in the chat? Let me scroll up. Wow, you guys said a lot. Good. Like, Kim Sun Young has to be at least. Yeah, I don't know how this dude is still alive. Kreese going into that tunnel thing was a little ridiculous, and you're telling me that Snake Cobra didn't kill him. Yeah, but you know what? That whole storyline's a little unrealistic. But if you just get on board with it right away, have fun with it, then It didn't bother me really. Yeah, this has got to be the best line of the season so far. It was great, and it was great seeing that in the trailer, but it was even better seeing that in this fight. Like, even though we already heard it, I was like, yes, that was such a great line. Kim Sung-young, unrealistic, yeah, but the whole show is unrealistic, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, dude must be taking magic potions. Yeah, that was really, like I said, I like seeing Kreese kind of being put in his place for once, and him being the student again, him not being in charge, and everyone not fearing him, you know? Really cool to see. Miguel and Kyler being bros was weird to see, but I was okay with it. Yeah, because the execution of it was really good. Like, that should have never worked, but they made it work. We'll get to this in episode 5, episode 5. Miguel actually defending Kyler, yeah. A little weird, but it was earned. College fight was cool, yeah. College stuff was great. Kreese in the cave was cool, I agree. No, it's just that Miguel is mature and doesn't care about the fast. Yeah, that's just Miguel's character. Plus, Neil Patrick Harris was in Harold Kumar made by the Big Three. Yeah, the Big Three definitely know Neil Patrick Harris, and he still could show up. I think that would be a really cool callback or, callback to How I Met Your Mother for all you How I Met Your Mother fans. They're always making these episodes 30 minutes long where there's not enough story to flesh out in 30 minutes. And I disagree. Yeah, Head of the Frat was such a bad guy. Such a bad dude. Even worse than Kyler. Yeah, Kyler giving good advice. Never thought you'd see it, especially to Miguel. What's up, Cobra Kai Farm? How you doing? Thanks for subscribing. I really enjoyed these 5 episodes. The ending was shocking. Yeah, I can't wait to talk about that ending because, oh my God, I did not see that coming at all. If this is the last time we see Kyler, the writers did give him a great send-off. I agree, and this probably should be the last time we see Kyler unless he comes in at the end, which I could see happening where all the characters in the show are like in this one big scene at the end. But yeah, this was a great send-off to Kyler. Like, it makes you like Kyler a little bit more. It makes you respect him a little bit more. But also, it didn't get rid of the whole, funny stuff about Kyler. He still kept that with him. And the bitch, don't you know I know karate line just like sums up Kyler. That was great. The Kreese stuff possibly could have been a whole episode or, like you said, half. I think it should have. I mean, Cobra Kai's never really done that where it's been one storyline for one half of the episode and then the next half. I think that would have really been a lot better if you're going to have these two in the same episode. Miyagi and the old sensei are probably connected in some way. I've been seeing a lot of theories on that. I saw a theory that this old guy is Miyagi's brother. I think that'd be a little bit too coincidental. But I wouldn't be surprised if they have some sort of connection. Maybe they both fought in the Seikai Taikai. But he's so much older than Miyagi, though. So maybe that wouldn't even make sense. So, Amir, how are you, man? I just came on. Good to see you, man. I got a lot to talk about. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Thank you, Amir, for coming on. We just talked about episode 1 and 2, and we're about to move on to episode 3. So, actually, directed by Ralph Macchio, which, great job, Ralph. You killed it this episode with the direction. There's some great stuff that directing-wise that was great this episode that I will get to. A nice little fun opening scene of the baby shower. We find out that this was really fun where they thought it was maybe Kreese or Silver that sent them a bomb. We all knew it wasn't. We all knew it was going to be like something to do with the baby shower. And we find out that it is a girl. I think we all expected that. I think that was the right choice to do. Johnny being a girl dad and her 2 older brothers being Miguel and Robbie, and then her dad being Johnny Lawrence. Like, that girl's never going to be able to bring home a boy because she'll have to deal with all of this. And then you see Daniel. This is really fun. This is like a cute scene, just seeing everyone together, laugh and having a good time. It's like the piece of it all. And then it's giving great final season 5. It's like seeing everyone laughing and having a good time. Because this was also really funny, really cute scene. But then we dive right back into South Korea stuff. We meet some of Kim's students, including the new main student, Kwan, who is badass. Oh my God, this guy's going to be crazy. This guy, I love him already. I'm hooked on his character already. I can't wait to see him in the Seikai Taikai. I mean, he's like ruthless. Like, he is no mercy to the T. Like, he he's like the things he was saying this episode, like when Kreese was like, how do you beat someone who has a lot of heart? And then it's like you kill them by taking out their heart or punching them in the ribs or whatever he said. Like that is like brutal. Like this is, I cannot wait to see more of this guy. We didn't see too much of him this part, but what we got of him, awesome. I mean, Brandon Lee, that's his real name, right? He's a real, karate master. And his fight this episode, honestly, one of the best fights we've seen, like choreograph wise, because it was all them. It was very smooth. And honestly, a lot of the fights this season feel smoother and crisper than ever. But I can't wait to see more Quan. I really like what they did with him in this episode. I like the whole Kreese and him dynamic, and Kreese recognizing that he will be the best student. And then here we see Tori and, Sam. They kind of lost their edge. They're holding back a little when they're fighting. And Johnny's like, well, that can't happen. I got to make them hate each other again. And that was a really cool storyline. Here's the boys talking about where they think the Sekai Taikai will be. And then here is the big scene where Daniel finds the box of Miyagi's hidden secrets. We'll get into more of that. There's Kreese interacting with the students in Korea. This is great. Like I love seeing this Kreese interact with these, like, honestly, Kreese is like dream students, the guys who are ruthless, who really don't have any heart. Like they're just brutal, ruthless character, at least from what we've seen so far. And I love this whole interaction. And then here you go. This was a really funny scene. They have a lot of fun stuff this season, and I think for the most part, it really is fun. And it doesn't seem like, can we get more to like the meaty stuff? No, it's like I'm having fun with this fun stuff. This whole slumber party was great. I don't know how Devin's dad just allowed Johnny to have a slumber party with 3 teenage girls. Little strange, but Devin's dad's cool like that, I guess. But this whole scene was hilarious. And then here we find out some more stuff about Miyagi's past, or a little bit. We see in this box, there's boxing gloves. We find out that Miyagi had this fake ID. He robbed the place. He assaulted someone. Find out that Miyagi wasn't as perfect as we think. Now, they said this guy in this picture is Miyagi. Right? Daniel said this is Miyagi. That is not Pat Morita. So I wonder if they cast as someone to play Miyagi potentially in a flashback this season. Because they said this is Miyagi. And obviously it's a different actor or a different guy playing him. So I have a feeling later this season we're going to get a Miyagi flashback and someone playing him. And I wouldn't be surprised based on how the season's going with the Miyagi stuff. I think the flashbacks is definitely necessary. I don't know how you cast someone to play that big of a role. But I think it's coming. I think we got a Miyagi flashback coming, or maybe possibly an entire Miyagi episode. I would not be surprised at all. I think that'd also be really cool. A lot of people are saying we should get a Miyagi spinoff. I think just give him an episode. That would be really cool. But yeah, I do think that's what they're doing with this guy. More Korea stuff. Love it, love it, love it. And this is great. This whole slumber party scene with the girls just want to have fun, song playing, and Johnny messing around with them all. Oh my God, this Ouija board scene was so funny. This was so funny. Yo, Banzai Kai, what's up, bro? It's been a while. How you doing? Thanks for coming on. Yeah, but this whole sequence was hilarious. It was fun. It's great seeing Sam, Tori, and Devin, that trio together. And Johnny, because we don't really ever see Johnny and Tori interact like since the second season. But we get a lot of that this episode, and it was super fun. And Johnny and this whole scene was really hilarious. But it's also great to see them, finally coming together. This was super fun. And Johnny's mad. He's trying to get them to, hate each other again. It was super fun. It was really funny. And it worked. It wasn't a waste of time. It worked. And then we see Daniel chose it and Amanda go to this boxing ring. I'm surprised they took Amanda because it's a very sketch part of town. It looks like a very sketchy area. And they kind of just leave Amanda and chase after this guy. This was a hilarious line. This was a hilarious line by Daniel. So we're running routes now. That made me laugh out loud. And I was laughing for a while. But this is what I mean by Ralph Macchio. Great camera direction. This is the stuff we haven't really seen in this show. I really like it. And normally when a character or an actor who's in the show directs an episode, the character isn't in the episode that much because obviously the director's always got to be behind the scenes. But Ralph Macchio is in this episode a lot, and he's directing it. But this was cool. I think this part was a little bit like much. I don't think it completely worked. It's a little over the top a little bit. It wasn't my favorite part of the episode. I'll say that. But I still don't mind. I love the diving deeper into Miyagi's past. This whole scene was hilarious where Johnny steals both Miguel and Robbie's phone and they catch him and you catfish me. I don't know what catfish is, but that's gross. Really funny. They decided to leave the slumber party. Sick shot of Kreese right here. Cinematography, Ralph Macchio. Great shot. Ralph Macchio did an amazing job directing. I love what he's done. Like these close-ups, amazing. Really made the scenes more intense. And then Kreese tailing off Quan. And then we get one of the best fights of the season so far. Quan versus 3 of these guys. I mean, look at that kick. That's like actually him, right? This fight was sick. This episode. This fight was amazing. It was really intense. And it shows how just who Quan is. Like you understand who he is in this fight. Like look at this. Like he tears the pin off him and he's still brutally just beating him up. And he has a sick kick. Look at that. That's sick. Like I said, I can't wait to see more of this guy, especially more of him in the Seikai Taikai. I don't know how these guys are going to match up with him because he seems like the best fighter in the show. He's giving me like Mike Barnes vibes a little bit in Karate Kid 3. But he's still like his own new character that we haven't seen in this universe yet. And I cannot wait to see more of him. He was a really big surprise how much I enjoyed him this episode and this season so far. But he's a really fun character. Here's more about the Miyagi past. Here's an amazing scene between Tori and Sam where they let it all out. They let everything they've fight for. They just finally let it out in their words, and they apologize, and they end up hugging. They let it out, but they start out fighting with each other, and then Sam apologizes. I think it was really good that Sam was the first one to apologize because she kind of started the beef with accusing Tori of stealing from her mom, even though Tori took the beef to a whole nother level. But I think it was definitely great that Sam finally apologized for that. And then right away, Tori apologizes for that. And you can see like the tears in her eyes and you see this hug. And that was like really, really crazy, first of all, to see. Like, who would have thought a season ago seeing this? But it was it's earned. It's built up and it was earned. And it was a great scene by Marion and Peyton. They really did a great job acting this scene out. Once again, Ralph Macchio did a great job directing them. Johnny doesn't love it, but it ended up working out. But I love this whole fun sequence, this whole slumber party. It was really fun. And then Amanda, telling Daniel it's okay not that you don't know everything about, your mentor. We don't tell everything to our kids. And like, that's necessary. That's truth. And then we see Chosen get a flight to Okinawa and he's not in the next 2 episodes. He goes back, but he'll be back for the Seikai guy. And by the way, speaking of that, Chosen and Komiko, I don't think she ghosted him or left him and like isn't responding to him. It's probably a thing where her calls weren't going through or something. I don't think Komiko would do that to Chosen. I think they will end up getting together by the end of this show. So I wouldn't worry about that. This was great. This is awesome. So like I said, I love this whole dynamic with Kreese and Quan. He's like, how do you beat someone who has a lot of heart? You be heartless. Like Kreese is like on a whole nother level. He's tired of all the bullshit he had to go through last season. And you know what? He's really going to the no mercy of Cobra Kai. And these kids are following him, as these guys are going to follow his words. Like, they are brutal, ruthless. This is what they were brought up. This is how they were grown. And it's great. And then this is foreshadowing, which I didn't get the first time, where Kreese's like, there's still one piece of the puzzle missing, and it cuts right to Tori. Because obviously we know by the end of the season, Kreese gets Tori back. And this was a nice little subtle nod that I didn't get right away, but I saw it on the rewatch. Chosen is in the Seikai Taikai. I see you guys questioning. There is a shot. They released something on Netflix. So it's like Behind the Dojo, which is like they were talking about what happened this part, and they tease a little bit about what happens next part, and they show like this a couple new shots. And there's a picture of Chosen at the Saikai Taikai and his gi. He's back. But yeah, this was a really cool subtle nod that we didn't get right away. It cuts right to Tori when he says there's one piece of the puzzle missing, which obviously at the time we don't know what he's talking about, but it cuts right to Tori. So it tells us a little bit, even though I don't think anyone really got that right away. And they got their groove back. They're fighting. They're showing, their toughness. Here's a great shot. One of my favorite shots of the season. Once again, Ralph Macchio directing himself. Looks great. I love the shot. Daniel's like Daniel. I love them. I'm really digging what they're doing with this. Like how Miyagi, he isn't perfect, and it's always Daniel when he's down or when he's confused. He has to go to Miyagi for advice. But this time, Daniel, everything's kind of working out, and he didn't need to go to Miyagi, but he finds out stuff about Miyagi. Like Miyagi kind of comes to him when he finds this box and he finds the secrets, and it kind of messes with his head a little. It's something we haven't seen in this show. It's a really cool arc for Daniel this season, which I don't think any of us were really expecting. It keeps Miyagi alive in the show, and I'm really enjoying it so far. And then we find out where the Saikai Taikai will be held this year in Barcelona. I liked how they brought this guy back. He was a really fun part of season 5, that one episode. It's in Barcelona, but we also find out that only 6 of them can enter, and 2 team captains, 1 male, 1 female, and that's what the whole next episode is. This was a really fun episode, really solid episode. I really enjoyed this. I don't have many problems with this one, if any. I can't really. Besides like this boxing thing where they chase him down, was a little crazy for the show, but besides that, I've a solid episode. Love the slumber party stuff with Sam and Tori. Love that final scene with Sam and Tori where they hug it out. The Johnny stuff there was hilarious. Kreese stuff with Quan, amazing. The Quan character, cannot wait to see more of him. Let's see let's see in the chat. Well, damn, it's already been an hour stream. This has been great. Let me go back to the top. Quan is definitely an actual bad dude. Yeah, he's not gonna be a character that has like redeeming qualities, like he's a bad dude, and we need that in the show. We need a character like that, and we finally got it, and he's new and he's different, and it's working. Seeing Tori help Sam was pretty cool. Quan is gonna injure Robbie. Yeah. I could definitely see him injuring someone in this tournament. Robbie, I don't know, maybe Dimitri, I could see. These students are what Kreese really wants. Yeah, this is like Kreese's dream dojo, but that's minus no Johnny and Tori. I think they'd be in his dream dojo. These students are definitely going to be standing on business. Quan is an actual legitimate badass fighter. Miguel, Hawk, and Robbie are going to have their hands full. Oh, yeah, all of these guys. Like, I don't know how they're going to come. These guys are great, but how are they going to compete with Quan, bro? This man is insane. Quan is probably going to injure one of the main characters really badly. Quan will not win, but he will get disqualified. Only way Miyagi will win. I could definitely see him hurting someone. Nice little callback. Kreese is like, sweep the leg. That would be a nice little callback. The whole slumber party are hilarious. I agree. One of the funny stuff, honestly, in the show. Now we can get Miyagi. I hope we see Miyagi flashbacks. And I think by showing that guy who's Miyagi, we're gonna get some. And maybe a whole episode. That's my theory. Season 6 was dope. Doing great, man. Hope you're doing well, Bonsai. I'm glad you're back. Yeah. John, that was so funny. I love how Johnny was trying to control the Ouija board and he make it say what he wants to. Yeah, it was comedy gold. Classic Johnny Lawrence comedy. Yeah, Quan 3v1 these master students. He 3v1 one of the guys who supposedly was the best student in the dojo. And he did it with ease. Like this is a bad man. This is a bad man. He is crazy. How is Miguel gonna beat him? With heart. That's what I agree. Sam hasn't had really much to do. It's really just more her and Tori is her whole arc. Sam hasn't really done much. I hope Terry Silver's back. We still need Terry Silver back. I miss Terry Silver. I want him back. One of my favorites in the show. He'll be back, and I can't wait. I love Terry Silver. I really love seeing Sam and Tori apologize to one another because it really shows how mature they both are, and yeah, how far they've come. It's been earned. This apology scene, that was like this whole rivalry building up to that. It was great. Chosen just disappearing. We need him in Second Taika. He'll be there. He'll be there. Don't worry. Here's another thing about this theory. Nope, I do not think Chris killed Tori's mom. I talked about that earlier. What if Silver was involved in Tori's mom? Nah, I don't. I think her mom just died. To be honest, I think it was what they said, the blood clot that they couldn't catch. I don't think it's anything like this. I think that would be a little bit too far. Gregory Dane. Overstuffed season, in my opinion. Getting the only off in the first episode. This is my friend Greg. Greg, you need to shut your mouth, bro. I'm watching all the episodes with Greg tomorrow. He doesn't know what he's talking about. This is my friend Greg. A fake Cobra Kai hater. He only likes hating on Cobra Kai because he likes pissing me off. You know he secretly likes it. But thanks for coming on, Greg. Ralph Macchio did it. Yes, Ralph Macchio did an absolutely incredible job directing that episode. I would think that was like a regular director directing that if I didn't know if it was Ralph Macchio. Do you think Miguel's dad will show up? I don't think so. I think they're kind of done with that. TCK Films, I love the way that Sam and Tori made amends with each other and forgiving each other. That scene was just beautiful, well executed. I agree. 100% agree. All right, we got some chaos in the chat, bro. All right, mods, get on that. So yeah, let's move on to episode 4. Now, this is when I think the season really starts to pick up. Like, this is like, it's starting getting like going. It's starting running. We had some fun stuff the first 3 episodes. We had some, aftermath of the season 4 finale. And then episode 4 is like right when we're getting into the meat, right when we're starting the train for the Sekai Taikai, right when we're learning how intense it is. This is like one of my favorite episodes so far. Great opening scene. Absolutely love this opening scene. Love this shot. This was really cool seeing all the students except Bert. Man, Bert got screwed this season, man. Bert didn't make the cut, which is so sad. He should have made it over Penis Breath. Bert, hashtag Bert was robbed. I mean, he wasn't going to make the Sekai Taikai, we knew that, but he should have been in the conversation. He should have been in the shot, but still, absolutely love this, seeing all of them together like this. Really cool shot. Here we got another cool scene with all the boys. And look who it is! Strike First Media in the background right there, right behind Hawk. Cody, my boy. Cody, if you're watching this or if you do watch this, so proud of you, bro, for getting on this show. Even if it's just an extra, that's so cool. I would have loved to have done that. Really cool accomplishment. Cody, I love seeing this, man. This is I always notice that when rewatching this, is seeing Cody there. Strike First Media, there he is. So sick. But I like how Miguel, Tori, Sam, and Rob, you were like, is there any shot we don't make this? Because we all know they were making it. I like them acknowledging that. Then we got Hawk. Hawk's hair, oh my god, it looks so ridiculous. I mean, I like this American spirit, and then bring the his patriotic American spirit to the Sekai Taikai, but it just looks awful, bro. First of all, it looks fake, like really fake. But I don't know how he's even supposed to fight in that. It's too tall, It's too tall. I think even Jacob said he doesn't like it. This was a really cool shot. This is like a one shot of all the kids talking, and seeing them. Did anyone else notice maybe an Anthony Devin romance that they're trying to spark here? They're kind of like hyping each other up here. Like, there's definitely, if you have a shot, I have a shot. And Anthony was like, I think you're definitely going to make it. Are they trying to spark a little romance? I could see it. But seeing this trio together, lovely younger kids trio, Johnny and Daniel talking. Johnny wants control over the music in LaRusso Auto. I love Johnny's music taste. Don't think it would work in a car dealership. But Yeah, they're trying to decide who they're gonna pick. The sixth they're gonna pick to be in the Sekai Taikai. And then Daniel's like, I have a bad idea. It's Mike Barnes. This was like Mike Barnes' episode, and like I loved it so much. I think this is the last we see of Mike Barnes, unfortunately, because he got like this whole episode. But this was such a fun episode, man. This is like vintage Mike Barnes, like Karate Kid 3 Mike Barnes with that little edge that he got this episode. This scene, which this clip was revealed, a great scene. Like Sean Cannon, like this is great. Like I love how he's still like he's a good guy. He's a new and improved Mike Barnes, but he's bringing out that little edge he had in Karate Kid 3, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love this whole. This was really funny. Like, is this different the last time I was here? Then they show this flashback. That was really funny. A nice acknowledgement that Mike Barnes has been here before. This was fun. Nice little Rocky reference of them chasing after the chicken. A really fun montage here of Mike Barnes selecting who he thinks should be in it and showing off pretty much every character. Like even Nate. Like Nate's got some screen time this episode and showing off some of his badassery. So this whole montage was really sick. I love this episode. It was a really fun training episode. It was like the first training episode of the season. That was funny. And then here he picks, the main four right away, Miguel, or the main five right away, Miguel, Hawk, Robbie, Santori. And then we're like, he's going to pick Dimitri next, right? But he picks Muscles. I'm not calling him that. The traitor, Benedict Penis Breath, as they called him, right away after them, which is a little weird because he shouldn't be there. Bert should be there over Penis Breath. Okay. I agree. So I'll stand by that for the rest of my life. Hashtag justice for Bert. Kenny. Then he picks Kenny. Chris. Makes sense. Nate. Chris. Sure. And then Dimitri. Devin. Which I don't know why Mike Barnes was a hater on Devin. Like she didn't even do anything wrong. And he was like, oh, right. Devin. Like, bro. What is your problem with Devin? What did she ever do to you? Like, this man was out for her right from the start. For, like, what reason? Yes. But he really liked Kenny. Anthony picked. It should have also been Bert over Anthony. I don't care whatever they're trying to do with Anthony. Then we got Devin. Yeah, I like Johnny sticking up for Devin. I like this whole dynamic between the two of them. It was like dropped off in season 5. It started in season 4, and it's picking right back up, and it's great. They have a great duo, Devin and Johnny. And then we see them a bunch of like the B-list, C-list characters who made it fighting in the dojo at night, training because they know they need it. This was cool. And then a little weird. But after this, also, for any dirty it went really heavy with flashbacks this season. I talked about this in my review. Like this flashback, I think it was like so on this. They're bringing up flashbacks that happened like last season or 2 seasons ago, which I don't think was necessary. I think the show usually does a great job of flashbacks. I think they went a little overboard with the flashbacks this season, like that, for example. And then look who shows up at the dojo. Who's expecting Yasmin to show up, looking for Dimitri. And yeah, she gives Dimitri some good advice. Dimitri's like, I made it this far. I don't need to make the tournament. And Yasmin's like, ew, that's gross. You're acting like a loser. And she put him in her place. She's like, I believe in you, and you need to believe in yourself. And this was really cool. I literally like the lighting of this scene, and it was like, I like this season. It looks different. They definitely got a bigger budget for sure, and they're using different cameras, different lighting, different grading, different coloring. But yeah, I really like that Jasmine sparking Dimitri. Like Dimitri was acting like a loser, like how he was in season 1, and I didn't like that. But I'm glad that Yasmin brought out the winner champion side of him. And then this is where I find out Eli didn't apply to MIT and he didn't tell Dimitri yet. Then this was another great fight scene, a great montage scene of them all. This was a really cool exercise of seeing how many they choose, 15 that they chose, going off against like in this flag football style fight. Really cool. In my opinion, the 5 should have been picked right away. It should have been Robbie, Miguel, Hawk, Tori, Sam. Like those 5 should have been guaranteed. But obviously they needed to make a whole episode out of this. And then the 6th spot would be up for grabs, which really should be Dimitri or Kenny. And yeah, Johnny and Mike arguing, which was really fun. Anthony scoring some points. Kenny knocks him on the ground because Kenny like uppercuts him, which was really cool. Mike Barnes is being like really bad boy karate here. He's like, maybe I need to be the bad boy in order for Silver not to burn down my business. I like that he brought that up, and like he's kind of like on edge this season. He's kind of, he's not in the right headspace after what happened last season. I'm glad they didn't just ignore that. So yeah, obviously Miguel, Robbie, Sam, and Tori made it past this round. Hawk didn't get enough, so he didn't make it forward. But we all know it should be Hawk as the next option. And then the next 4. This was a great scene. Or not this scene. It was a scene earlier where Anthony was like, I don't, no way I make it past the next round. Daniel's like, the underdog always had a shot. That was a great scene. I love that scene with Daniel and Anthony. And then Anthony gets a little, embarrassed that he got punched in front of everyone, but nobody really was making fun of him. I don't know why he got so upset. And then here we go. One of the best fights of the season. A real Johnny versus Mike Barnes fight. Look at this. They punch each other in their fist meet. Like, that is the most Johnny Mike Barnes fight thing I've ever heard of. Because pretty much Johnny or Mike Barnes is just Johnny 2.0 in the movie, and like having them like cross pass, that was like such a reference to that kind of like how they have the same like fight moves. This is a great fight. Love seeing those two fight. It was a great smooth fight. Pretty even though Johnny got the last kick. And Mike Barnes brought out his line from Karate Kid Part 3, his most famous line, "Your karate's a joke." And he was about to say, "I own you." But then Johnny kicks him. That was such a cool callback. This was such a fun fight and like a dream fight. Like you guys said, this is like a dream fight, seeing Johnny versus Mike Barnes. Something we wanted to see forever. We got a little tease of it in episode 10 of season 5. And this is like a real legitimate fight. Really cool. And then like Mike Barnes is like, ever since you guys came back in my life, I've been messed up, man. Like, it was really cool seeing between the two of them. And then here we go. Mike Barnes brings them out in the woods to decide who will be the next two to move to join the Saikai Taikai out of Kenny, Devin, Hawk, and Dimitri. Yeah. And then right before the fight, Hawk tells Dimitri he didn't apply to MIT, and Dimitri freaks out, and Dimitri is not being a good friend here. Like, he should just like be like, Hawk isn't saying he's not going to MIT, like he's not going to apply to MIT. He's just saying he wants to keep his options open, which makes sense. And Dimitri was being really annoying here, actually. Like, Hawk had every right to say that. Dimitri like freaked out, but it was a good build tension for this challenge. So this was really cool. They've run out in the woods to get the flags. Mike Barnes apologizes to Daniel and says, they fought, him and Johnny fought. Kenny comes back and everyone's like, he won. Nope. Devin cheated, bro. Devin put the thing that makes you have to go to the bathroom in Kenny's water bottle. And she cheated because Kenny honestly should be there. Maybe even over Dimitri, and Devin cheated. Devin really shouldn't be there. Devin should not be fighting in the Saikai Taikai. Not only because she lost, or not only because she cheated. I mean, it's just like she's the least talent, or the least. She's not the best fighter of the 3. Is what I'm trying to say. She is the worst of the 4. Not saying she's a bad fighter at all, but out of those 4, she is at the bottom of that list, and it's really annoying that Daniel and Johnny, they didn't like override that. Like, I know she won the challenge even though she cheated, but nobody knows that yet. It should be Hawk over her, should be Dimitri over her, and should be Kenny over her. And we find out that Devin ends up still going to the Saikai Taikai with them, so they didn't even resolve that. Here we get a great callback. Dimitri's like, yeah, it doesn't feel great, right? And he's gonna break his arm. A nice little mini fight between the binary bros. Nice tension between them. Something which we need. Hawk doesn't really fight back at all. And then Dimitri ends up winning. And Dimitri and Devin join them in the Saikai Taikai. Probably should be Kenny and Hawk. actually, it definitely should be Kenny and Hawk over them, but we find out later that when Tori leaves, that Hawk will come back. But it should be the best team possible for the world tournament. And the fact that Johnny and Daniel just don't even say right away that it should be Hawk and Kenny or Dimitri there, like that was just really annoying.
With the collateral,
like I know Devin won the challenge, but it should be like, and Daniel, like, he calls out Johnny here a little bit. I don't know why Johnny's so for Devin going. Like I think Johnny, they make it seem like Johnny doesn't care about Hawk at all, which was really weird because Johnny made Hawk who he is. He's like, Daniel's like, it should be Hawk there over Devin, and it should be. That was just a little aggravating, and the way this episode ends, like, a little weird. It ends on that, which is like not how you end an episode, didn't seem like. But that was besides the selections of this episode, it was a really fun episode. It was a Mike Barnes episode. Love seeing him back. Love the challenges he brought, and I love how it was focused more on like the side characters. Like everyone knew Miguel, Tori, Sam, and Robbie were going to make it, and they recognized that earlier, and then focused more on the side characters: Kenny, Devin, Hawk, Dimitri, and then even like Nate, Chris, Penis Press a little bit more, which I like that. They were kind of like the main kids of the episode, at least Devin, Kenny, Dimitri, and Hawk. And I like the tension between the binary bros, Dimitri and Hawk. I like where Dimitri going this season. Like he's getting more cocky. He's more, confident, honestly, even though it's some of that's coming just from his aggravations with Eli. But yeah, I love the Johnny and Mike Barnes fight. That was super fun. Something we've wanted to see forever. Great episode, honestly, great episode, even though the selections weren't great. And Kenny thinks Anthony is the one who did it, who cheated, which makes sense. But it was actually Devin. And Devin didn't even tell Kenny that it was her. She made him seem like it was Anthony. And then this next episode, we don't see Kenny at all. Does Kreese get a hold of Kenny, maybe? Does Kenny done with this dojo? Or is he just plotting his revenge against Anthony? I don't know, but he's not in this next episode at all. So that's interesting. I'm wondering what Kenny was up to. But yeah, great episode. Loved it. Selections were a little weird. The logic there was kind of left out. But let's see what you guys thought. Yep. Love seeing Cody though. That was so cool. Win for Cody, aka Strike Me. Yeah. The American Mohawk was distracting. I'm sorry. It doesn't look good at all. It just looks fake. And we see he goes to Sekai Taikai with it. I was hoping he'd get rid of it for that. Like, bring back the purple, bro. They lasted half an episode. And that was like maybe the best one. TCK Films, I don't like the fact that they made Devin cheat to win and then let Kenny just blame Anthony. Yeah, it's like kind of like a little bit Disney Channel drama, a little bit with that whole storyline happening. It's not the most interesting. And I hope it doesn't get, stretched out too far because it's kind of stupid. But yeah, I agree. I actually felt bad for Kenny. Devin did that Devin did that so she could be in Barcelona. Yeah, Kenny should be there maybe over Dimitri. He beat Hawk, even if it was an illegal move last season. Dimitri had a lot. Yeah, I love how Dimitri's getting more screen time this season because last season he wasn't even part of the main cast. His name was not. He was demoted to a side character, and now he's promoted again back to the main cast. I don't think that ever should have happened. But yeah, I love what we're getting with Dimitri so far, actually, especially this next episode. And what I got some things to talk about with Dimitri. That was really cool. I like what they did. Yeah, exactly. Hawk is the current champ. Like Hawk won the last All Valley. It shouldn't even be a discussion if he's going to Barcelona or not. To the Sekai Taikai, he should be like the fifth option there. That's just annoying. As much as I like Devin, it was really bad what she did to Kenny. Yeah, I agree. Weird question there. It's great seeing Mike Barnes back, and I think he plays a bigger role in part 2 or 3. I hope so. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the last we see of him, just because we got so much of him this episode. But I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to the Saikai Taikai to watch. That'd be cool. Finally, Johnny versus Mike Barnes. That was so sick. I understand. I understood Hawk should have told him maybe, but Dimitri was clearly in the wrong. Dimitri was overreacting. Like, just because you have a college you want to go to from when you were kids doesn't mean you can't change as you grow up. Like, that's part of growing up, is changing what you want, realizing what you really want, and recognizing all of your options. Like, that's very mature of Hawk to do that, and Dimitri should be fine with that. I mean, obviously he doesn't want to leave his best friend, but it's growing up, man. Yeah, Devin lost some respect points there. Devin, like, you should win fair and square, and you shouldn't even be there. You haven't been training as long as them all anyway. Like, I like Devin, but she was a little annoying this episode, and Johnny shouldn't have done. Johnny was like kind of dumb too, with him going to Barnes and being like, Devin should come. Like, come on, Johnny, you're better than that. Hawk should easily be on this team. I agree. I'm sorry. Yeah, here's what I'm saying. Johnny was being annoying, trying to force Mike to pay attention to Devin when Mike was not being biased at all and just being biased towards her in general. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that Johnny's being more annoying than Daniel's season, and Johnny's in more of the wrong. Like, that's so stupid of Johnny to do. Like, I know you really like Devin, and she's definitely one of your favorite students, but this is the World Tournament. You need the best fighters. The best fighters need to be there, and the fact that Johnny doesn't even recognize that, it's kind of out of character, and like it's a little dumb. It's just dumb to me that they did that. I have a theory that if Tori does leave Cobra Kai during the Seikai Taikai and rejoins Miyagi-Do and fights with them, that Devin gives Tori's, that would be cool. I don't know if she can do that, but that's a good theory. I like that. Do you think Kenny would be in Different Dojo in part 2? I could see it. We don't see him at all in this next episode. We don't see him at all since this whole thing happened in this episode. We know Kreese in America. Maybe he tried to get Kenny too. We never know. I wouldn't be surprised. And that wouldn't even be the worst move for Kenny. And also they teased it a little this episode when Devin was like, "Are you gonna?" When Kenny thinks Anthony's the one that made Kenny, have to go to the bathroom. Devin was like, "Are you gonna tell the senseis?" And Kenny's like, "Nah, Anthony's dad would never even believe me." It was like Kenny doesn't feel like the senseis like get him, because Kenny's like the only one that has never trained with these senseis before. Like, he started out with Kreese and then Silver, never Johnny or Daniel. When like the rest of the kids, he started out with Johnny or Daniel. Kenny's like they don't really know Kenny, and Kenny kind of still feels like an outcast. So they kind of tease that a little bit, and then maybe he goes back to Kreese because like he knows Kreese. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they're setting up. Do you think Miguel has a chance of winning the Seikai Taiga after losing the Robbie? I think anyone could win. Nothing's off the table this season. Just because Robbie's voted team captain now doesn't mean that will end up happening. Kreese never really cared about Kenny. I agree that Kreese never really had a connection with Kenny. Silver did. But maybe Kenny's like, this dojo isn't working out for me. And when he finds out maybe Tori's back with Cobra Kai, he goes with her. Wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, Kenny does deserve better. All right. Yes, and this is also what I'm talking about. There was wasn't there 4? There was Quan, like 2 other guys, and Tori in that last shot. So that means there's 2 more spots, too. Maybe one's for Kenny, and then I don't know who the other spot would be. But yes, I did notice that. But let's move on to the final episode of this part, episode 5. Where's the next episode, please? Okay, whatever. Episode 5, the best episode by far of the season so far. one of the best episodes of the show. Nailed everything that it tried to do. Starts out right away starts out like how no Cobra Kai episode has really started out, like on like a kind of a sadder, darker start with, Tori's at the doctor, talking to the doctor about her mom, and Tori's like, it's going really well. My mom made us dinner for the first time in a while, and yeah, we thought maybe things are going good for Tori. And then comes up behind her. At first, I thought, which is what they were trying to do, it's like some guy just about to mess with Tori, and she's going to kick his ass. On how the hell did he get back to America with no one catching him? I don't know. The cops suck in the show. The police suck in the show. But yeah, Kreese is back in America because the missing piece of the puzzle that he was talking about was Tori, the Queen Cobra. And this was a great, great scene. Like, that was an unnecessary flashback. And I don't know why there's a blue filter over it. That was a little weird. Great scene. Great Tori scene where Kreese is like, you're my champion. And Tori's like, I might be a champion, but I'm not yours. That was like a applause moment. I remember me and my dad were like, yes. Yes, Tori told her off. Nobody ever tells off Kreese. And Tori did it. Badass Tori. Tori is so good this season and last season. But Tori is so good this episode, this whole season. Tori might be the best episode. Tori might be the best character of the season. She probably is. And she probably will be. This was sick of Tori telling off Kreese. And look at this. Here's something I noticed. You noticed that when Dimitri's getting more cocky and he's going against Eli a little bit, that he starts spiking his hair up. You notice that? His hair is now spiked up a little. He's trying to be like Hawk, maybe. He's getting a little bit more of an edge. Did anyone else notice that? Because I noticed that right away, that his hair is now spiked up, doing his own little mini Hawk, maybe. I thought that was a really cool, subtle Easter egg type of thing they're doing. And you can really see it later in the last shot or in the last scene at the Seikai Taikai. And I'll get to that. But I love that detail. That is such a cool detail. I noticed that right away. That was really cool. Such a sweet moment. I'm going to be honest here. I was always for Miguel and Sam over Robbie and Tori. This season, Robbie and Tori are the power couple. Well, up until what happens at the end. Up until what happens at the end. Tori and Robbie, power couple. This scene was amazing. This scene was so great with Robbie and Tori saying, like, we're going to be on the podium together. Just promise you're with me. And they get a nice little smooch. They are the best They are the best couple this season. Their chemistry, Peyton and Tanner's chemistry, honestly, better than Mary and Cholo's. They got great chemistry together, especially this episode. That was a great little scene. Yep. So here's them talking about they're going to have to pick captains, going to have to fight for it. This scene was hilarious with Johnny acting like he's a Miyagi-Do. He's doing all the Miyagi-Do stuff, but with his own little twist. He the Coors Banquet on the balance for the balancing, and then he's showing them a movie to focus. That was a really funny scene with Johnny and the kids. Daniel's not happy about it, though. And then here we go. Here's when everything starts to go downhill. Tori comes home to, unfortunately, her mother, who was lying on the floor, and she passed. I talked about this in my review a whole bunch. Peyton lists one of the best performances we've seen in the show. The cries, the yell here, the mom, like, it was heartbreaking. It literally broke my heart. For a character I haven't really cared that much about, like, I'm really now on board with Tori, like, and she's becoming one of my favorite characters. This scene really was heartbreaking, and that's thanks to Peyton's performance. And this, I know why people are thinking like maybe Kreese has something to do with her, is because of this shot of the fist. I think that's just, that's what they, like, we get the flashback later of Tori's mom talking to her when she was younger, and she's like, keep fighting. This is just like the symbolizing of it. Like, she knew she was about to die, and she clenched her fist so Tori would know to, keep fighting, keep going. And that's what I think it is. I don't think she was fighting Kreese and Kreese was trying to kill her. I think that's a little too far. I think it was just like what the flashback was showing. But yeah, really, really, really heartbreaking. One of the saddest things we've seen in this show. Like, this is up there when Miguel fell off the balcony in that hospital scene.
Show each other our moves.
Yep, and then Miguel's like, you know what? I need to win this. I need to be captain because I want to get into this college. And they deferred me, And like Sam said, it's one thing to be the best one thing to be the best in the Valley. It's one other to be the best in the world. So everyone, like I said, I love how all the kids have their own personal motivation for winning the tournament. Everyone besides Sam, really. But Miguel, Robbie, we dive deep into that, why they have their own motivation this season. Robbie's about to train with Tori, but she doesn't show up. Heartbreaking scene right here. Peyton List, and just look at that. Like, that's like the acting, incredible acting by Peyton List here. And like, look at the shot of her. It's heartbreaking to watch it, but she absolutely nailed it, and she should get some sort of recognition with that. We got Miguel and Sam training with Daniel, and Johnny's on his test run, and then Johnny sees them, and he gets a little mad, and then here's this stupid argument they have again. It's just like, oh, just stop, just split the training together. Like, come on, we should be past this already. And then Johnny makes this whole scene at Louis Auto and tries to recruit Louis and Anush for his own dealership, which was kind of funny. But Amanda tells him off. I love that because we kind of see always Amanda like liking Johnny, but like she's kind of like had enough with him now, and she's putting him in place. And she tells him about why Daniel's like a little not the greatest headspace either, because he found out stuff about Miyagi. And then here's a great scene of Robbie, training. And the flashbacks of him, being runner-up, and he's saying, runner up. I'm glad they're touching on that. But what's with this blue filter for the flashback? I don't know. I love this scene. This is a great Robbie scene. And then Miguel shows up, and they have a little bit of misunderstanding here. Like, Miguel comes at him like, I need to be captain because I want to go to college. And Robbie's like, well, just because I'm not going to college doesn't mean I don't have to worry about my future. Like, this is big for me too, and I really like that. I didn't like how it didn't turn into like personal beef though. Like it didn't turn into an actual fight, which is good. But yeah, that was a cool scene. And then here's this really sad flashback of Tori and Tori's mom, and really, really good scene though. And I love this scene. Like, she clinches that, and you hear like the Tori theme. Like, she has that her own little theme that they play. I think they played it right before the school fight happened. You hear it here in the background a little bit, and you're like, "Oh, she's not in the right headspace. She could do something really bad." But great scene here, great acting. I love that flashback of Tori and her mom. It was really sweet, really sweet. Because this is really the first time. This is the first time we ever see Tori's mom. We've always we've always talked about her. We've always mentioned her, but this is the first time actually seeing her and seeing what she was really like and how like she was a good mother. Then here we go. This is really funny. Johnny says the same thing to Miguel and Robbie. He's like, whatever happens, I'll be there for you. And he goes over to Robbie and says the same thing. That was really funny. And then you think Johnny and Daniel, they get over it and they squash their beef, but of course it doesn't, which is so annoying. But this time it makes a little bit of sense why they argue after this fight. Then here we go. Amanda shows up, which I like. I knew once she showed up that she was gonna have something to do with Tori and her mom. I just knew that right away because, like, why else would she be there? Here we go. A sick fight with Miguel and Robbie. This is honestly one of the best fights. Choreographed wise, like, it's very smooth. It's very crisp. The fights are like super great. The camera work is amazing. Again, like, that is great stunts. That actually looked like Tanner. Miguel gets up by 2, and this is what I'm talking about. This is why Robbie and Tori are the power couple. Robbie's down 2 points. Miguel only needs 1 point to win, and then Tori walks in, and Robbie gets hyped up again. Tori's still not in the right headspace, but Robbie smiles, and then Robbie scores 2 points. It was great. This is a great fight. And then Robbie ends up. This is a great fight overall. Robbie ends up winning, which I do like. Robbie needed to win, but I still think Miguel should be the captain. Miguel has the most wins out of anyone in the show, out of the kids. But Robbie, I'm not too upset about Robbie being captain because I think they do both need it. They both have their own good reasons of needing it. But I feel like Miguel... Like, Robbie won the fight, and that's what was the deal. Whoever wins the fight is the captain, and that's fair. But Miguel's won pretty much every time. I don't know. It's not that. I think some people are really aggravated about that, but like it makes sense. Like whoever won the fight is captain. And that's how it is. Really sad. Oh, I felt so bad for Robbie after this. This was so sad. Tori's fighting aggressively. She punches Sam after she scores a point. She's not in the right headspace, obviously. Super intense scene here. Amanda gets a call from the hospital saying that Tori's mom died, and then she goes up to Daniel. She's like, "We gotta stop the fight." And then Daniel's like, "Why?" And then this was really cool. Just Daniel stopping the fight and like catching the fist. That was really cool. Super intense last 10 minutes here. This was super intense and Johnny's like, "Why are you stopping her?" Then like Johnny has his own. The scene was really brilliant. This last 10 minutes were really brilliant. Because this isn't annoying, this argument with Johnny and Daniel. This has layers and it makes sense. Johnny has his own reasons for being like, Tori should fight if she wants to fight. And Daniel's like, no, she shouldn't because you're going to hurt my daughter. The right move was Daniel calling off the fight because Tori really could have hurt Sam. She already was fighting dirty and that she's not in the right headspace. Once again, acting by Peyton List, absolutely incredible. When she said, because my mother died. Oof, heartbreaking. And everyone's facial reaction to that, great. This is one of the best acted moments of the show. Just everyone, Amanda, Robbie, Sam, Daniel, Johnny, they all acted the scene out so well with their facial expressions, like how they all have their own perspective, how like this is like the domino effect. Everything started falling after this. Like then Tori decides she's done. Great acting here by Zabka and Machio. Johnny's like, you should have let her finish that fight. Like she was working through it. Johnny knows exactly what she's going through. When Johnny says when his mom died, all he wanted to do was fight, and do a 3-point tournament match type of fight. And that he should have let her. Like he's giving valid points. Like obviously I think the right move was Daniel stopping the fight because you don't want her hurting Sam. But Johnny also brings like a valid point. Like if she wants to fight, if this is how she's getting it out, just let her get it out. But like you don't want someone else getting hurt. Just one of the best scenes of the entire series, honestly. Great acting, great, reasoning. Like this is an argument that like isn't annoying because there's so many layers to it. It makes sense. They both have valid reasons. They're not just fighting the fight. Like it's not their egos. They have reasons. And then Johnny gets a little out of line here. He starts dissing Mr. Miyagi, and Daniel has every right to punch him there.
Hearing that name, got so high.
Johnny up.
He had every right to punch him there because Johnny was getting out of line. I'm glad it didn't turn into an actual fight. And I'm glad this didn't lead to them splitting up again because that would have been ridiculous. But Johnny's like, I'll stay with you for the kids, but after this, I want nothing to do with you or this dojo. I don't think that's going to end up happening. They'll be fine by the end of this. But what a great setup for this tournament. Like there's so much unfinished business between them. Everyone's not in a great headspace going into this tournament. It's just making it so much more intense and a great build up. And then we find out that Hawk's going in for Tori. He should have already been there. Devin shouldn't be there. Like I said, there's no Kenny this episode. But the captain, then on them, and then Daniel realized something. I had no clue what he was realizing here. At first, for some reason, I thought he was having like a heart attack. I don't know. The way he was like just stopped and his arms were kind of shaking, I thought he was having a heart attack. But nope, he realizes that he's seen that headband before. He's in this box. We find out that maybe just from this, Miyagi fought in the Seikai Taikai, but not only that, there's blood on it. Maybe he killed someone in the Seikai Taikai. What a build-up for this tournament, bro. Like, that's even going to mess with Daniel's head even more. If it's right, what they're saying, that Miyagi fought and killed someone in the tournament, that would explain why Miyagi hates fighting in tournaments, and that would explain why Miyagi hated fighting. Why that he killed someone in a tournament when he was younger. I think if they do that, I don't think it ruins Miyagi's character at all. Because nobody's perfect, and maybe that experience made Miyagi the man he is. I don't think it ruins Miyagi at all, but what a setup. And then, boom, we go right to the Seikai Taikai. Got to see. Look at this. Look at Dimitri's, like, he's got his chest out more. He's got, like, his gi is stretched out more. His hair is spiked up. Like, he's got aura, man. he's getting some swag. Like, he's acting more like a cool nonchalant guy, and I really like what they're doing with him. You can just tell by his hair and the way the way he has his gi. That's why I noticed that, and it was really cool. And look at this Saikai Taikai, it's sick. The music here, incredible. And then look who walks in. This whole scene, what an ending. What an ending. We see Kreese's Cobra Kai in the new Cobra Kai gi. Sick gi, by the way. Love the silver snake. Awesome gi. But yeah, there's only 3 of them, and then Tori. So there's 2 more spots. I love this scene so much. It was sick. I'm like, I could not stop watching this scene when I saw it. Then at the dojo. But then look at this plot twist. One of the best plot twists in the entire show. Tori joins up with Kreese. I didn't see it coming at all. Even after that, I didn't see it coming at all. Seeing this is heartbreaking, bro. It's heartbreaking. But it makes sense for Tori. I do not fault Tori. I'm getting really excited here. I do not fault Tori at all for this decision, because this isn't like I'm going to Cobra Kai because I hate Miyagi-Do. I hate everyone there. No, this is like, I need to win. I'm doing what's best for me. Cobra Kai is going to let me fight and get my anger out. Then I'm going to go there. And you know what? Honestly, I respect Tori for that. Obviously, she did betray them in a way, but she's got to do what she thinks best for her. And I respect it. I really like it. Tori's got the best arc this season, best character. This scene was incredible. Seeing Robbie's like heartbroken, bro. This was such a great scene. Miguel's locked in though. My boy Miguel is locked in. What a great scene. Everyone else feels betrayed. Kreese, of course, gets the last line. Let the games begin, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, are we in for a treat with part 2. I cannot wait for this Saikai Taikai. But like I said, like there's
How are you holding up?
nope, not Ace Degenerate.
Awesome.
Like I said, there's only 4 Cobra Kai students there in that shot. With Quan and like 2 others and Tori. So there's 2 more spots there because there's 6 that enter the tournament. So there's 2 more characters that are in Cobra Kai who fight in the tournament. It could just be 2 random characters, or it could be Kenny, could be someone else. I don't know. We don't see Kenny at all. And I do think this whole scene, this Saikai Taikai, is a flash forward. Like the season will not pick up here. There's still stuff that happened in between where Tori left Miyagi-Do and this. This is a flash forward. Which I like. The reason they did this is because they knew we were going to be left like with no episodes for a few months, and they wanted to give us like a little bit of Saikai Taikai, so they gave us this scene. But I think this is a flash forward. This is not where this is not like where the season's going to start. There's still stuff that happened in between that and now. Because first of all, they said in like the second episode that the Saikai Taikai is still months away. So unless they just do a giant time jump, but I don't think so at all. I think there's still some stuff that happened in between. We're going to find out, we're going to see Tori probably go to Kreese and be like, I want to join you. We're going to see what happens with Kenny. We're going to see, more, just more character building for this tournament. Because there's still so much unsettled going into this tournament, and it's sick. It's sick. I love this scene so much. I love this episode. It is one of the best episodes of the show. This was sick. This whole reveal, seeing Quan there. Oh, I cannot wait for this tournament, guys. I cannot wait. A great episode. Great ending. Cannot wait for part 2. Ladies and gentlemen, great episode. I could go on and on about this scene, about this episode. A great episode. But let's see what you guys thought. Wow, we get a lot. I don't think anyone killed her. I think she just died because she was sick and she had a blood clot. I don't think anyone killed her. Tori's character gets better every season, 100%. Scene was haunting. They are the best couple in this show. Yep, in the season. Robbie versus Quan in the final, and Quan will dislocate Robbie's shoulder, and Robbie will win the tournament. Maybe. Tori's mom getting killed off early around outside. It was gut punchy. It came out of nowhere, and it really hurt, man. I wasn't expecting even like, if you told me like Tori's mom died, like I'd be like, oh, that's sad, but I don't think I'd get like as emotional as I got because of how Peytonless acted and portrayed that. Because we never met Tori's mom up until this episode. was nice to see what Tori's mother was really like. Yeah, and she was a good person. And I also wonder if Tori's aunt's not going to be brought in again. She was in episode or season 4, and she's like, once your mom kicks the can, like I'm gonna take over. Like, I wonder if her aunt's gonna be brought back in. I have a feeling she will. Love how Sam was being a good sport. Yeah. Yeah, Sam's showing Tori sympathy was great. Like her being like, her not being like, no, let the fight continue. Her being like, Tori, you're not in the right space. Like this fight can happen, but it should be at the right time. And right now is not the right time. That was very mature, Sam. If anyone can get Tori out of Cobra Kai, Johnny. I think it's Robbie. Robbie's really the key. But Johnny also, yeah. I wish they would have let Sam and Tori decide if they want to continue or not. At least Sam, Robbie, Amanda, or Devin go after. Yeah, that was also a little weird how when Tori left, nobody went after her, and then they kind of all stayed there and were happy that they became captains. That was a little weird how at least Robbie didn't go after her or Amanda just let her go. Like, I realized she probably needs to like get her own stuff settled, but why did they all just let her go and don't check up on her right away? That was a little weird. Robbie got experience in mentoring, and he's always got something going on since he had so much hate in him with bad influences. That's why he always lost. First time seeing Robbie focused on fighting, yeah. I think the only reason Tori went back to Cobra Kai was to honor her mother and her connection with Kreese. But I think she will be redeemed. Yes, I do think by the end, Tori will come back to the mall. This is not a permanent thing. Dimitri got extra aura, yes. I love how they did that. That was really cool. And they're not even mentioning it, though. It's just happening, which is really cool. Johnny should be the key. He has experience with his mother dying and has a daughter on the way. He should talk to Tori. That is a great point. Johnny does have a daughter on the way, and he has experience, so he could be a reason Tori comes back. I would love to see a one-on-one scene with Johnny and Tori because we haven't really gotten that ever. Oh, yeah. The score... Woo! One of the best. First of all, Zach and Leo kill it every season with the scores. But this score here, oh my gosh, beautiful. I love listening to that score, especially in this scene. Woo! What a score. The whole score this whole season so far has been great. The score is always great. They never disappoint with soundtrack. Yes. This scene had everyone shocked. I was shocked. I honestly was I don't know why. Maybe because I just want him back so bad. I was expecting Silver to just show up because they were building up to some big reveal. And I thought it was going to be Silver. I wasn't even thinking about Tori. And when I saw Tori, I was still just as shocked. I was like, what? What? I was recording my reaction and my camera died literally right before this scene happened. I was so mad because I wish you guys could see my reaction. I was with my dad and we were like, what the hell? What an ending. What an ending. Cannot wait. I need this next part. She not lose weight. She's just still in style. Yeah, I do feel that a little bit so far that Kim Jong-un isn't like last season. She was a badass. Like she was in control. She was, but this season she really just feels like Kreese's sidekick, and she's just listening to everything Kreese says. I think that could change, because like. She doesn't like Tori. So we'll have some interesting scenes with that. And Tori doesn't like her either. So we'll see some interesting stuff with that. Yes, exactly. This is what I just said. Because she hates him. But she's doing it for herself, which is what I respect about it. She's not doing it for anyone but herself, which is great. The reaction to everyone Miyagi was so insane. I definitely think all of them feel guilty that, I don't know why they didn't go after her. And then they were just fine with, like, they just did the whole ceremony of putting on the headbands and they didn't react, which is a little weird. But like I said, I think this is a flash forward. We're going to see stuff that happened in between, like the Kreese and Kim discussion, or maybe Kreese doesn't even tell Kim that he's doing this, But like I said, there's gonna be stuff in between the Tori leaving Miyagi-Do and this scene. This is a flash forward, I believe. I don't know why people keep saying Kreese killed Tori's mom. I think her mom just died. I 100% agree. I think people are getting a little bit too carried away with that theory. That's a little bit too far, like even for Kreese. Oh my God, Peyton List just crushes it this episode. My heart is just completely broken. And for her, I was in tears along with Tori. I wish Devin and Robbie had gone out to. Yeah, I agree. I was heartbreaking stuff, but amazing acting by Peyton List. Who said we were on Johnny or Daniel when it came to wanting Tori to fight? Like I said, they both have valid points to their argument, but Tori could have seriously hurt Sam. She already punched her after she scored a point, and she was fighting dirty. So Daniel was right to call off the fight there. He should have been more like, don't worry, we'll have the fight at a later time. Sam isn't going to automatically be the captain. You just need time to chill out. That's how he should have approached it more than just like, nope, the fight's ending. Like, that's going to freak her out. So yeah, Daniel should have ended the fight because she could have seriously hurt Sam. And also Johnny had a great point though. Like, he knows what it's like. It was a very conflicting scene, and it was very, very, very well executed. Tori has to win now versus Sam. She's the underdog and mentally destroyed after her mother died. She has to win now for Tori. I really don't even know who's going to win. Like, really, I don't know who's going to win. I'm very conflicted. And it's really, I love being that way. I love not know, like, I love that everyone's not predicting the same person to win. Like, all Valley people nobody predicted Hawk to win. But I like how this season we really have no clue who's going to win. I feel like they got something big planned for Miguel, so they have to knock him down right away. Miguel looks locked in, bro. You saw that of his face at the end when they find out Tori's there. Everyone else is concerned. Shocked. It's revealed. Look at Miguel. Bro is locked in. Bro's like, I got love that. Love Miguel. Miguel's the prime Miguel. Prime Miguel this season, I'm telling you. Everyone else is in the great headspace. Miguel's locked in. Look at him. Excuse me. Yeah, crazy stuff, guys. Do you think Hawk will stay away from Kenny for this entire season, just like in part 2 and part 3? Like, no, I don't know. I don't think they'll purposely stay away. Robbie should went after her. I think Tori's mom is holding that gem that Tori had made for her, maybe. But no, Tori had it, unless she made 2. But Tori probably isn't going to be around the other Cobra. Exactly. She's doing this for herself. She's not doing this to get back at anyone. She's not doing it for revenge. She's doing it for her. I respect it. Peyton has the most potential of the young cast. Oh, 100%. She's already doing other stuff. She's in that cool School Spirits show, which I heard is great. I still got to check it out. She's like doing a whole bunch of other stuff. She's got a good career ahead of her. I understood Johnny about letting Tori fight because he can relate, but she clearly wasn't in the right headspace at the moment. So I understand why Daniel had to stop. Yes, I agree. Do you like Dimitri and Devin still on what they did? I think it should be Hawk and Kenny over them, but Dimitri, I don't have a real problem with him being there, but Devin should not be there. She's not better than Kenny or Hawk or Tori. Well, Hawk is there now, but so I guess it makes sense that Devin's there now. No, Kenny should be there over Devin, actually. But Kenny might be there, but with another dojo. Kenny versus Devin could happen. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Especially when Kenny finds out that Devin was the one that did it. He gets back at her in the fight. I don't know if are they doing a girls bracket though? In the boys bracket? I don't know. I would love this. They don't really Emmys don't really recognize Cobra Kai, but she gave one hell of a performance. I thought Miguel would become team captain, then Robbie wins the tournament, but I don't know at the moment. Yeah, I'm really conflicted. I do not know what's gonna happen. I love it. This is such a great setup for the next part. I cannot wait for part 2. Saigai Taiga is gonna be wild, man. Wild. Sam has nothing to gain. Tori has everything to gain. Sam's life is fine. She doesn't need a tournament. Sam needs to lose for once. Miguel even lost to Robbie, so Tori has to win versus Sam. Fair is fair. Yep. I can go for some ice cream after watching these good episodes. Yeah, this was like we were eating good in these episodes so far, and we haven't even gotten to the meat of it yet. Like the season's like really just about to start with these next 5. Like this is where it's really gonna get running. But I'm a fan of the season so far, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a fan of it. I think it was a fun first 5 episodes. I think that last episode was incredible. I think these next 5 are gonna be maybe the best Cobra Kai. Do you think Xander Stone comes back for the next part? I mean, it seems like they're bringing back every character who's ever been in the show, so I wouldn't be surprised. I'm hoping that when Sam fights Tori, that she fights to save Tori from Cobra Kai. So Tori wins while she's on the side of Cobra Kai will go global. That is true. I really have no clue what's going to happen if Tori switches sides during the tournament. If she wins with Cobra Kai, it's very, very conflicting. What's your favorite episode? Mine is the second, really. That's my least favorite. My favorite episode out of the 5 was definitely this episode, episode 5. My ranking from best to worst, my favorite's 5. Second favorite's 4. The one trying to think what was 3. What haven't the Korea stuff. Probably 3, 1, 2. So 5, 4, 3, 1, 2. That's my ranking of these 5. Saigai Taiga is going to be brutal, man. Cannot wait for what happens. Yeah, me too. I'm glad we're getting part 2 early around November 15th. Yep, they moved it up a few weeks. But I like the Thanksgiving date. I really like that. It worked out a little better for me if it was on Thanksgiving, but it's fine. Tori beating Sam won't make them go good. I do think Robbie in part 2 is going to try to convince Tori to come back, which I'm excited for that, but I do not want him to win the Saigai Taiga too. Yeah. Netflix, I don't know if a lot of you guys have seen this, but Netflix put on Netflix this Cobra Kai Inside the Dojo thing where it's like the cast and the creators talking about what happened in this first part. But they also show some stuff in part 2, and they talk about part 2. Like this. Look at that guy's hair. Oh my god. This is like they said we haven't even seen the other dojos. Like we know the other dojos are gonna play a part in the Saigai Taiga too. So wait, did I miss some of it?
Matter is so. This is
like this. Look at this. This is some.
In the next match, this is the.
I don't even know what's happening here. You see the Cobra Kai's here in jackets. I don't know if this is part of the tournament or it's only with Quan. And you see the Miyagi-Dos in the background here. You see Hawk, Robbie, Miguel, and Dimitri. And I think there's maybe Sam's not there. You see Quan. You see Quan doing this insane kick. I don't know what he's kicking. Oh, that's really cool. I didn't even notice that. But yeah, you see Dimitri, Miguel, Robbie, and Hawk there watching him. So this is gonna be interesting. I don't know what this is part of. We see more dojos fighting here, separate dojos.
Up for this, all of our
this is
dojos,
more Saigai Taiga stuff. These are more of the other dojos that I guess we learn more about them too. Is what they're talking about. They're all hyping up this next part. They're saying like it's the crazy stuff we've ever seen. Let's see, I don't want to get copyrighted, so I'm not playing it all. There's like some
baggage
shots of Daniel.
to the Saikai
There's a shot of
Taikai.
Chosen. Yep, there it is. This is like the shot that Chosen's back for the Saikai Taikai. So don't worry, Chosen's back. He should be there. You don't gotta worry. Maybe Julie Pierce will come back and help bring Tori back. I could see that. If they do bring Julie Pierce back, honestly, I think it will be like one of the last episodes. They do this like honoring of Mr. Miyagi, and she comes to visit. That's what I think it will be. And she might speak on Mr. Miyagi. I don't think she'll play a big part in the story. If Chosen was in the tournament as a young person, yes, 100%. Chosen clears everyone. But yeah, there's some
That baggage
other
is
cool
very
shots.
difficult to
He's another shot of Crease.
leave at
Menacing as
the
ever.
door.
A shot of Johnny and Daniel.
Pushing and pulling.
Is that the only shot? Yeah. This is a great ending.
Episodes.
Tune in.
Loved it so much. What is that?
Last time
Yeah. So yeah. Yo, what's up, Cobra Kai Karate? How you doing? So yeah. Now we'll use the rest of this time, a few more minutes, to wrap up. Ask any more questions you guys may have, any theories you have. I'll love to talk to you guys in chat. But like I said, I loved this first part. Very few issues, but some issues. But everyone has issues with every season. I had fun with it, and we're just getting started, guys. Like, Saikai Taikai is coming. Saikai Taikai is coming, bro, and even more twists. Terry Silver, that man's got to show up. All right, like there ain't no way you're trying to make me believe for a second that Terry Silver isn't going to be in this season, isn't going to be a part of this tournament in some way. Like, that man is showing up. Mark my words. And I can't wait. I love Terry Silver. Love Terry Silver, man. Quan and Tori aren't, yeah, like, that Cobra Kai is a powerhouse of a team right now, man. They got masters, brutal personas, like crazy stuff going on in Cobra Kai. I don't know why I think Julie Pierce might be Tori's other aunt. So sick of, I'm really sick of the whole everyone's related thing. Like it's never gonna happen. To be honest with you, doing good. Glad to see you back. Yeah, good to see you, Cobra Kai Karate. If Robbie Miguel would meet in the semis again, probably Miguel, since they had Robbie win this fight. Whoever won the last fight isn't winning the next fight. That's usually the case. I've been good, Cobra Kai World. Pretty good. Having a good summer so far. What about you? Okay. I don't know who Alan is, but Terry Silver will return. 100%, and he needs to. He's too good of a character for him not to. Don't trust IMDb on anything, bro. I remember for season 4, before season 4 came out, IMDb said Allie and Bobby were both going to be in the last episode, and they weren't even in the season at all. So do not trust IMDb's casting. I don't know where they get some of the information. Sometimes they're usually right with like the guest characters, like new background characters, but they're not right when they're like bringing back characters, like legacy characters. So I wouldn't trust IMDb if I were any of you. Part 3 is going to be a total mystery, and I could see Hector coming back. Yeah, I really don't know what part 3 is going to be. But I'm really focused just on part 2 right now, to be honest. Like, I cannot wait for this Saikai Taikai. Silver will be a big part of part 2. I hope so. I'm missing Silver, man. I'm Silver deprived, man. Personally, Robbie will be distracted during the Saikai Taikai because the Torium will lose. This will then motivate Miguel to destroy his opponent and take it all and win it all. I can see it. Yeah, IMDb always wrong. Part 3 will likely be the aftermath of the tournament. Yeah. but like, what could that be? I saw an interview on Collider with the writers, and they said their favorite episode, like the question was like, what's your favorite episode of the next 10? And they all said like the finale is like incredible, which makes sense because it's a finale. But they also said episode 10, which will be like the finale of the next part, which makes sense. And then Hayden said episode 13 is really good, and like the beginning of the end. They really said those last 3 episodes are like their favorite. But episode 10, but all these episodes are gonna be great, man. I think it's because anyway. Oh, then that's definitely because like they said Allie and Bobby were gonna be in season 4. I'm definitely gonna cry when this show ends, man. Like I don't cry a lot during movies or TV. When this show's been like, this is gonna sound cheesy, man, but this show's been such a huge part of my life. Like actually, like I've literally grown up through high school, or even more. Like I graduated high school this year, and like I remember starting to like I watched Cobra Kai when it first came out, but when it came on Netflix, and that was like when I was in freshman year, I really like started loving this show. And then I started a whole channel on Cobra Kai, which was where I know most of you guys from, and I've just been loving it through out growing up. And I'm gonna cry when the show ends, man. It's such an important part, a big part of my life. All I do is talk about this show pretty much. Stingray versus Silver. Ooh, that's a tough one. I think I'm gonna have to go with Silver. That's a tough one. Not the biggest fan of part 1. I felt too much forced drama and rushing storylines in the past. Pacing was not good. I agree, pacing was a little off sometimes, but I hope they have a good part 2. Mike Barnes was pretty. I don't think so. Mike Barnes, I loved him in that episode. I've been watching Cobra Kai since I was in middle school and it's on Easy Red. Yeah, same. Now I'm out of high school now. Yeah, same here, man. Like I grew up with this show, man. Like, and I'm growing up like with these characters. Like I was talking about earlier. Like me and these characters are like at similar points in our life. The young characters, of course. Yeah, when this show ends, man, I'm gonna be heartbroken. But it's gonna go out with a bang. I'm gonna rewatch this show for the rest of my life. Yeah. This show is amazing, man. What else can I say? I love that fight. Yeah. The Johnny and Mike Barnes fight was great. Spectacular, fun fight that we've wanted forever. But yeah, I think we're going to wrap up the stream here. This was a great stream, guys. I love talking to all you guys in this chat. We went through all 5 episodes, talked about it. We all gave our thoughts on each thing that happened. This was a great, great, great stream. Thank you guys all for coming on in the chat. Thank you guys. If you're watching on the replay, thank you for rewatching. Yeah, man. We'll do some more streams. Like I got to talk about The Boys. The Boys just ended. I had to record that video on the whole season and probably do a stream on that. So look forward to that. Look forward to more Cobra Kai streams, more movie news, more TV stuff. Yes, Cobra Kai World, I will do that. But yeah, once again, thank you guys all for coming on. Had a great stream. Thank you guys for staying with me. Let's shout some people in the chat out. Tristan, my man, thank you for coming on. Garrett, thank you for coming on. Thank you, bro. If you guys haven't already, make sure to like the stream. That would be great. Cobra Kai World. Yes, I will be doing that. Thank you for coming on. Thank you, bro. For, Kimon, am I pronouncing that right? Thank you for coming on, bro. Thank you for that. Bottle. Thank you, Dark Chosen. Thank you, Jim Tim, my man. Everyone else, Cobra Kai Karate. We had Bonsai Kai earlier. We had Kingin earlier. Mr. F. Rager. Who else? Brandon, thank you guys all for coming on. If you're watching the replay, thanks for watching. Part 2. It's coming, guys. It's coming. This part was great. If you haven't checked out my review of the season, make sure to check that out. And remember, sweep the leg.